Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, so Karuna, we can do the Radhakund Astakam later.
Okay,
because let's just break it up a little bit. So today is the appearance day of Radhakund. Wonderful, wonderful day. And the plan is we'll talk a little bit about Radhakund. Jayant is prepared a replica, exact replica of
Krishna Prabhu, sorry.
Hare Krishna, Alice.
I'm a baby, so I need to understand it more. What is Radhakund?
Yes, exactly what we're going to describe today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good. It's actually a pond, if you like, a little lake in Vrindavan, but a very, very special place. And
so how is the appearance day of the pond then?
Yes, that's exactly what we're going to talk about.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, good. Now keep asking if
you miss anything.
If we don't explain anything, just keep asking. Don't be shy. Thank you, Alice.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Please keep asking, because others might be asking, thinking the same thing, but shy to ask. So what we're planning to do is talk about Radhakund, what happened, how did Radhakund appear, and we also want to do a parikram around Radhakund today. So we've got most of the places of Radhakund on pictorial. So we shall try to do that. So this is a verse that appears, there's a series of verses that appear in the Nectar of Instruction written by Rupa Goswami. This is the Upadesh Amrit. Won't read the Sanskrit, right? It's too hard. So we'll read the translation. This is telling us how important Radhakund is. The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world. So let me just see if good. So this is like a map, if you like, of the spiritual and the material world, a very crude map. This is Golok Vrindavan, which is the hub of the whole everything, existence. This is Vaikuntha.
Is Golok Vrindavan higher than Vaikuntha?
Yes, Rianch. Good question, Rianch. Golok Vrindavan, from Golok Vrindavan comes Vaikuntha. So Golok, Krishna is the origin of everything. And from Krishna comes Balaram. And from Balaram, Golok appears. Yeah?
Yes,
So, very nice question, Rianch. So from Golok, everything comes. And this is, here is actually Ayodhya, Ramachandra's place. This is Vaikuntha, where Lord Narayan resides with all the other avatars.
Like Kurma.
Kurma, yeah, all of them. Yeah. And this is our world. This is
material
just one
world, Prabhuji.
Yes, just one universe. Actually, there are billions of universes, but this is, there's only so much room we have on this computer space page. So one universe. Now, Radhakund appears here or eternally, always has been, always will be, but Radhakund very kindly comes to earth. So Krishna was born in Mathura, and Mathura is one of these, I think the orange line here. So the place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha,
the transcendental world, because
the Lord appeared there. No, just 1 second. Let me just read it. Superior to Mathura Puri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan, right? Because of Krishna's Ras Leela pastimes. So Vaikuntha, better than Vaikuntha, Mathura, better than Mathura, Vrindavan. All of these places are spiritual. So from a spiritual point of view, there are gradations. Yeah. So superior to Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill. And that is also in the Braj Bhumi area, for it was raised by the divine hand of Krishna and was the site of his various loving pastimes. But above all, the super excellent Shri Radhakund stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prem of the Lord of Gokul, Sri Krishna. It means Radhakund has the love of Krishna as well as Radharani within its waters. So that's why it is extraordinarily powerful, potent from the spiritual point of view. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radhakund, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill? So shall we show now or later? Do it now. So we show you quickly Radhakund and Govardhan, where they are. Jenti's prepared something very nicely. And let's see if we can. No, here. 1 second. Okay, there you go. There you go. You can see it there. So here it is. This is Govardhan. And Govardhan is a mountain.
Can't see, Prabhu.
You can't see? Oh, 1 second. You know what?
Nope.
What about now? What about now? Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Govardhan, if you walk around it, is 23 kilometers.
Excellent.
This is the exact replica.
Yeah. Exact. Yeah.
And at the base is Radhakund and Shyamkund, the green and the blue.
The blue is Shyamkund and the green is Radhakund. And if you see the picture, that's an actual picture
Of Radhakund and Shyamkund.
Radhakund. So you've got the pathway in between the two kunds.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And there's somebody there, 2 souls, who are actually paying dandavats.
Dandavat parikrams on the path.
Or are they eating the sweeties? Anyway. Okay. That's good. Yeah. Okay. So that just gives you an idea where everything is. Now let's share. Okay. Right. Now let's. So this is Golok Vrindavan. This is even closer. Look at Golok Vrindavan. This is the lotus, the roll of the lotus. There's the Gayatri mantra is there. Radha Krishna is there. This is the center of the
Ashtasakis.
Astasaki. Yes, that's correct. And the gopis, the manjaris as well. And then there's different leelas as well. All this is part of Golok Vrindavan, which is the source of everything. You're very alert, Riyansh. Very good. Very good. So, how did Radhakund appear?
On this earth.
On this earth. So, Riyansh, you can read this.
Okay, Prabhuji. One demon named Arishtasura entered the village like a great bull with a gigantic body and horns, digging up the earth with his hooves. When the demon entered Vrindavan, it appeared that the whole land trembled as if there were an earthquake. He roared fiercely, and after digging up the earth on the riverside, he entered the village proper. Its body was so big, short, and strong that a cloud hovered over its body, just as clouds hover over mountain. Aristasura entered Vrindavan with such a fearful appearance that just on seeing this great demon, all the men and women were afflicted with great fear, and the cows and other animals fled the village. The situation became very terrible, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan began to cry, Krishna, Krishna, please save us. Krishna also saw that the cows were running away, and he immediately replied, do not be afraid, do not be afraid. He then appeared before Aristasura and said, why are you frightening the inhabitants of Gokula? Krishna challenged the demon, and the demon became very angry and began to proceed towards Krishna in anger. But Krishna caught his horns and tossed him away. Again he charged Krishna with great force and anger. While rushing towards Krishna, he breathed very heavily. Krishna again caught his horns and immediately threw him on the ground, breaking his horns. Krishna then began to kick his body just as one squeezes a wet cloth on the ground. Being thus kicked by Krishna, Aristasura passed through the kingdom of death. Then the gopis teased Krishna to go the holy places to rid himself of the sin of killing a bull. This is the pastime of Shyam and Radhakund.
Thank you very much, Vianch. So you can mute yourself now. Huh? So the children yesterday did a fantastic play. It was written by Ritesh and Priti. They both coordinated. It's such a wonderful play on virtue drama, on appearance of Radhakund. And actually, I learned a few things from that, which was that one of the gopis said to Krishna that this is just adding to the number of sins that you committed. This is Lord Krishna, the supreme personality, the absolute truth, who is faultless, completely faultless. And the gopis were really having a wonderful teasing session with him. You killed a bull. This is adding to the sins that you are committing. Now, because you've done such a grievous thing, you have to go and bathe in the holy waters. And Krishna said, okay, no problem. Yamuna is just here. I'll have a shower. And the gopis said, no, I'm afraid that's not going to be enough. Again, they were just teasing. They were just enjoying this leela with Krishna. They love Krishna more than anything. And to tease Krishna is one of the most joyful occasions, especially when he's on the back foot. So Krishna said, so what do you want me to do? You need to go to all the different holy places around the world and take bath in order to absolve yourself from the sin of killing a bull. Whew. Tall order. So Krishna said, okay, what I will do, I agree with you. I will bathe in all the rivers, but I will call them here. And he banged his foot against the ground.
Yeah, with the heel.
With the heel, that's right. With the heel, he made a kund, a pond. And he requested all the holy rivers to come and reside in that kund, in that pond. And they came. One by one, they came. They announced themselves and they came. And Krishna was looking at the gopis, and gopis were looking at him. And Krishna bathed in Shyam Kund, in the kund that he'd created. And then he came out of the kund and he said to the gopis, well, now you also have to bathe because you sided with a demon. Yes, he may have taken the form of a cow or a bull, but he was a demon. and you sided with the demon, so you have now incurred sin. And the gopis, they love to play along. Huh? This is between Krishna and they tease each other and they play along with each other. And such a wonderful transactions that they have, spiritual interaction. So the gopis said, well, you know, if we bathe in your water, because you've bathed in it and you were so, you know, sinful and you put all your sins in that water, that water's no good anymore. We're going to create our own kund, our own pond of water. We'll bathe in our own waters. So then they started with the bangles, making a pond, a kund, where water can come in. And then they started, this is a fantastic effort by the gopis. Then they started to get water from Manasi Ganga. No, Manasi Ganga, was it? Kusum Sarovar.
No,
Was it Manasi Ganga?
Ganga.
Manasi Ganga. And it was taking some time because if you know the geographical locations, it's quite some distance between Mansi Ganga and Radhakund. But of course, there are thousands of gopis and there's thousands of pots, etc. So then they were taking the pots. It was taking for a long time. The holy waters that was sitting in Shyamkund, they requested Krishna, can we enter Radhakund? Can we enter the kund which is being made by Radharani and the gopis? Krishna said, well, you can ask. You can ask Radharani. So then they approached Radharani very, very humbly. And Radharani requested them that, yes, your wish can be fulfilled. You can enter my waters, our kund. Oh, Riyansh, yes. What would you like to say?
Raj, I want to say that I have a question. Why the Kund was called Shyam Kund and why it is not called Krishna Kund?
Good question. That I don't know the answer to. But Krishna and Shyam are the same person. Krishna Kund, Shyam Kund. I think Shyam
Shyam
Kund sounds
Sundar.
best. Yeah,
Shyam
Shyam Sundar.
Soft.
That's right. That's right. Shyam Sundar. One and the same person. Shyam Kund sounds better than Krishna Kund. Maybe because we're used to it over the years. Nice question. And do that, okay? Whenever you want to ask or say something, raise your hand. That was good, very polite. Thank you. So the holy waters entered into Radhakund and the gopis, Radharani, headed by Radharani, bathed, as did Krishna. They both entered Radhakund and they had wonderful pastimes. They were splashing each other. And Krishna resolved that anybody who even once bathes in your kund, he will become full of prema bhakti, your own prema bhakti. And he made many, many other resolutions that whoever bathes here, he will never suffer another birth in this material world. Even somebody takes the name of Radhakund, even just once, Krishna said, I will fall at their feet. He made so many different commitments because their love was transferred into this Radhakund.
Janki, what's a Kangan Kund? Do you want to just mention that?
Oh yeah, so Kangan Kund.
Mm.
It's so basically I think I sent a picture just to you.
Yeah.
So basically when the gopis were digging Radhakund, initially like it was quite a small kund, so
Yeah.
you can see that in the picture that they actually dug a smaller area, and I think over time it's been kind of renovated and
Yeah,
like
I think we've got a picture of that on the presentation. But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so Kangan Kund is like the original what they dug, that you can see the exact area and space that the gopis dug. So it's really special because it shows exactly the point that they
Okay. Okay. Now we just put that picture of the original.
yeah, This is the one. Yeah, that's the original space.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's what I don't know whether it got bigger once once the water's filled, or whether it's obviously become bigger during the renovations and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was definitely, I think, the original starting point of the digging.
Mm.
Yeah. So what happened
Good.
yeah, we can talk about that when we
Get
actually
there.
no, we get there now. Who's so okay. So what happened was over time, this Radhakund and Shyamkund were actually lost because this happened over 5,000 years ago. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and
It's
he
over
was
500 years.
over 500 years ago,
Mm.
and he was looking for Radhakund and Shyamkund, and he came across a village called Arista something, Aristagao or something like that. Aristagram, yes. Do you know the pastime?
Yeah, so he
Go
was
on.
yeah, but no, you can say it.
No, go on, please.
So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Vrindavan, he was basically looking and trying to find, because he obviously, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being Krishna himself, he knew all the leelas and where it happened. But when he got there, Vrindavan had become overgrown as a forest, and there hadn't been many people coming. There hadn't been a lot of kind of emphasis put on where the pilgrimage spots were. So one of the first things he asked when he got to Vrindavan is, he said, "Where is Radhakund and where is Shyamkund?" Because he was so curious to know. And obviously he himself knew the answer to that. And when nobody else knew, he was able to point out by looking at the colors, I think, of the kunds, which one was Radhakund and which one was Shyamkund. And they were basically tiny little, I think they were described as like muddy ponds at that point, because the forest had overgrown so much. It was like a little paddling, like it was really tiny, because they just hadn't been they'd all become covered, these pastime spots, but he was able to recognize where Radhakund and where Shyamkund was by the color. And I think it was the color and the location as well. And then he basically instructed the 6 Goswamis to renovate. Renovate meaning not like, I don't know if renovate's a good word, but what's a good word for what he asked them to do? Like
He excavated it.
Excavated, that's it, yeah. Because and then I think it became much more well known to the world, and obviously there's been so much done since then. But I think 500 years ago when Mahaprabhu was there, it might have been the size of what we're looking on that picture. I'm not sure exactly, but it was very small and very kind of unnoticeable. It was only because Mahaprabhu was Krishna himself that he could say, this is Radhakund and this is Shyamkund.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was listening to a lecture and that it was mentioned that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this area, he actually lost consciousness. So that's why they realized this is the actual place where it is. And locals actually knew these two ponds as Gori Khet and Kali Khet.
Yeah,
really small little ponds, and that's how they were known. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, no, I forgot that. No, thank you. Yeah. Yes.
And every now and then they clean up the whole kund. Is completely devoid of any water, and they give it a really good clean. I'm not sure why, because it's Radhakund, but
I think the turtles, it makes it so slippery and things like that in there.
But it's also good savor.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes, Nanivan.
Yes. So sorry, I'm cooking. I'm doing other things at the moment, but I missed a bit that how was it when it was excavated or asked when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reached it? What was the condition and who made it the way that it is?
It was a small pond at that time.
Yes.
And then he asked the 6 Goswamis to renovate all of those places, excavate them, and discover them. So when the 6 Goswamis came in, specifically Raghunath Das Goswami, he resided in Radhakund for 40 years. And one of the things he did was organize the excavation with Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami played a bigger role actually. But basically somebody wanted to donate in Badrinath or something like that. And he got a dream saying, actually, don't donate in Badrinath, but go to
Raghunath.
Raghunath Das Goswami and help him renovate Radhakund. So because of that, Radhakund is as it is now. It
With
was
all the embankment and everything. And the,
exactly
all
right.
right. Okay.
That's right. So this is all
Yes.
500 odd years. Of course, it's been, renovated again and again
Yes,
because nothing lasts too long. The climate is so volatile in Bharat.
Yes.
So many extremes. But essentially, this is what the Kund. Even we can show you something else. Yeah. Can you see that? This
Yes.
is
Aerial view.
Radhakund. And if you look
Yes.
at Shyamkund, it should have been a square, just same as Radhakund. But what happened was Raghunath Das Goswami, when they were actually making the plans to make Shyamkund, he had a dream from the Pandavas that don't cut, there were some trees around, 5 trees. And he had a dream, don't cut those trees because we are doing bhajan here.
In the form of trees.
In the form of trees. So then if you look at Shyamkund, it's a very peculiar shape. So they did
Yes.
cut the trees and they worked around the trees.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Sorry to take you off your track.
Not at all. Riansh?
Raj, I want to say something that one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gone to Vrindavan and he saw in Vrindavan there were no Shyamkund and Radhakund. And that time they were named as Gauriket and Kaliket.
Good.
But one devotee said that to Prabhupada, there are kunds Gauriket and Kaliket. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, these rivers are only Shyamkund and Radhakund.
Good. Thank you very much, Riansh. Good boy. So then text 11 of Nectar Instruction advises more. Of the many objects of favor, delight, and of all the lovable damsels of Brajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained, even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. So this is Rupa Goswami. He says more. You read this.
Okay. In the Shastra, it is said that of all types of future workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Gyanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. A Kund, or lake, is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis. Who then will not reside at Radhakund and a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, aprakata bhav, render loving service to the divine couple of Sri Sri Radha Govinda, who perform the Ashtas Kalya Leela. Their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radhakund are the most fortunate people in the universe.
So this is Alice, are you sort of happy with how Radhakund appeared and why she's so important?
Yes, Prabhu. I'm at work as well, so I'm on and off.
Okay,
Yeah,
no worries.
but I'm happy. I'm happy
Okay.
so far with the explanation. Thank
So
you.
we're actually going there now. Have you got your passport? Have you got your passport with you?
I've got my passport and I'm curious to see exactly how it is.
So we're going there, and within about a second we will reach there. Okay, we're there. We're in Radhakund and Shyamkund. As you can see, here's Radhakund, And this is Shyam Kund. It's a little odd shaped because of the trees that didn't get, could not be cut because the Pandavas were meditating there. So we want to do a parikram. There are all these 41 different sites around Radhakund. What devotees do? Usually they would
Sorry,
do,
Prabhu.
yes.
Like I said, I'm at work, so I'm on and off. Have you explained? I don't know if you have, but my question is, why is this one Radhakund and the other one is
Shyama Kund.
Shyama Kund? When you said the name Shyama is actually Krishna, why is it
Yes.
not Krishna Kund instead of
Shyam,
Radha
Krishna.
instead of
Shyam,
Shyama Kund?
Shyam means Krishna. Shyam means Krishna. It's the same thing. And Shyam is like a nickname. Shyam means black. So he's nicknamed Shyam Sundar. Sundar means beautiful. Black beauty is one of his names. And so this Shyam Kund is named after him because he created it. And this is Radhakund because Radha created it. And when devotees go to Radhakund, if they're not able to do circumambulation, if they're not able to do circumambulation of whole Govardhan, they would at least do circumambulation by walking of Radhakund. It's only about
Radhakund and Shyamkund.
Yeah, it's only but
2 kilometers, about,
yeah,
just over 2.
Yeah, but it's called Radhakund. That whole area is just called Radhakund. Shyamkund is not even mentioned.
No.
Krishna is out of the picture. It's actually Radhakund. And if you look, everybody always talks about Radhakund. Are you going to Radhakund? Does anybody say, are you going to Shyamkund? No. Shyam is ignored. So whether it's Shyamkund or Krishna Kund, forget it. The important thing is Radhakund. And Krishna himself gives Radhakund the most importance. So that says it all, really. So we want to do a parikram of going around.
So some people do call it Krishna Kund, not
Yeah,
Shyam
but
Kund.
it's very rare. It just confuses the whole issue. So it doesn't matter. We forget Krishna Kund or Shyam Kund. We call it Radhakund. So the circumambulation is going around the kunds. And there are different sites, different things going on. So let's go through that. When we go to Radhakund, the pilgrims will bathe in Radhakund. And today is very, very special. I don't know whether what's happening because of the virus and all that, but there would be literally hundreds of thousands of pilgrims, devotees, wanting to bathe in the waters of Radhakund.
At midnight.
Yeah. And they would stop the traffic a long, long way away from the town of Radhakund. So you'd have to walk a very long way. And there's no guarantee that you would be able to make it to Radhakund because of the number of pilgrims who will be there, religious pilgrims. So it's a very, very sacred occasion today at midnight, which is about 6:30 p.m. our time. So let's go around. Let's do the parikram. So first is the Radha Krishna Purana Mandir, old temple of Radha Krishna. And again, who discovered this? Raghunath Das Goswami discovered these deities when they were doing the excavation of Radhakund. And they're so beautiful. Radha Krishna Purana Mandir. Beautiful deities. Radharani is golden, yeah. Yeah. Very, very beautiful. So that's first stopping point. So we go and have darshan. Julan Stali. I haven't been everywhere actually. So there is a stone structure near the bank under a banyan tree shaped like a upside down U mark where Radha and Krishna enjoy their swing pastimes, Julan. So this is called Julan Stali. I can't actually recall being there before.
Roju, where is the tree in the picture?
No idea.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Some devotees, one my Prabhuji said when we went to Julan Sthal, that tree is there. It won't be visible to our material eyes. Only
Okay.
spiritual. If when we situated in Premasthai, we can see the tree.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Rohit. Wonderful. That's why I didn't see with my material eyes. But the good thing is now, next time we do go, we will have a better idea what is there and what we need to observe and take darshan of and really gain something spiritually. Third is the Gopal Manipur Mandir. And this is where the Gopal,
Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj.
sorry,
Okay, you can continue.
was originally being worshipped in the house of Brahman. About 100 years ago, the king of Manipur had a dream in which the deity of Gopal appeared and ordered the king to build a temple for him at such a place that he could gaze at Radhakund as well as give darshan to Surya, sun god. The king built a nice temple for Lord Gopal, located at the exact spot where the first rays of the rising sun appear at Radhakund. And at the moment, that temple has been is run by ISKCON and the disciples of Bhakti Swarup Damodar.
Yeah, Bhakti.
And it's a very beautiful temple. Every time we go there, they give us such delicious sweet rice. So that's a good reason.
Before Radhakund only.
Yes. It's just here.
Yeah.
There's Radhakund. So you can overlook Radhakund. It overlooks Radhakund. And it's a huge building. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. Huge building. This is the building.
Prabhuji, and Julal past time where happened? That is also near Radhakund.
Yeah, it's here. Number 2. Yeah, so we've done number 1, number 2, number 3. So now number 4, Radha Shyam Sundar Mandir. We actually haven't got anything on that. And Radha Gopinath Mandir, we do have. This is a beautiful deities in Radha Gopinath Mandir. Radha Gopinath Ki Jai. And that's 4 and 5. So 5 is here, literally a stone throw away from Radhakund. Next is a very important place, Mahjanava Betakstan. So this is where, you can read this. The consort of Lord Nityananda visited Radhakund. So that is Janava Devi, around 1582, to console Raghunath Das Goswami, because everybody was leaving the planet and Raghunath Das Goswami was very, very upset, who felt great separation from Radha and Krishna. And Betak means a favorite spot of a certain devotee who used to sit there. So Janava Devi used to sit, and that's where it is. You can see the front door there. And she was looking over Radhakund. Very beautiful, very, very beautiful place. Ma Janavi, Janava, while sitting here, had a wonderful vision of Lord Gopinath standing under the Tamil tree, playing his flute. That is why the Gopinath deity was installed just next to her Betak. Okay. So 5 and 6. 7, Anangamanjari Kunja. The very spot where Janava Mata sat is the place where in Appakat Leela, a footbridge made of pure crystal extends out in the middle of Radhakund, where the Kunj grove of Anangamanjari is situated. This Kunj appears like a large lotus flower floating in the middle of Radhakund. Ma Janava is of course no other than Anangamanjari, the younger sister of Shrimati Radharani. So that's in the spiritual kingdom, doesn't appear here. So that is number 7. But that's, as I said, that appears in the spiritual world, not in the Radhakund that we see. Then we go to number 8, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami Samadhi. Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, is that right? Yeah. Oh, is it Raghunath Das? I think it's Raghunath Das Goswami. It's Raghunath Das Goswami. So this is his samadhi, where his either his body or his ashes will be kept. I think it was ashes. He was from a very wealthy family, but he had absolutely no interest in wealth. And he would keep He would eat enough just to keep body and soul together. Mahaprabhu was so pleased with him. He gave him his own Govardhan Shila and this Gunjamala, which is so sacred to Radharani. And he resided on the banks of the Radhakund for 40 odd years nearly, and was responsible for its excavation. There,
Prabhuji, how Raghunath Das Goswami was dead?
sorry?
How Raghunath Das Goswami was dead?
He just went back to the spiritual world. He never dies. He doesn't die. No devotee dies. They simply
Leave the
live to
material
die.
body.
When they live to preach. When they die, they go back to the spiritual world. So no devotee died.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives to Raghunath Das Goswami the Govardhan Shila and the Gunjamala.
Yeah. Now put your hand up, okay? If you want to say something. You have to learn to do that. Is that okay?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Good boy. So 24-hour kirtan takes place here since the 1960s. That's when it started. So long time ago. It's 60 odd years ago. And they've continued every day. Sometimes there's one person, sometimes there's two, sometimes there's four, like here. They sing every single day. And this is, you would be able to see Radhakund here. This is where Radhakund is. Very beautiful place. So that was 8, right? Yeah. Govindghat, we don't know much about. Radha Raman Mandir, no. Radha Govind Temple. So number 12, we know a lot about. So let's have a look where number 12 is. Oh no, let's just have a look. Number 12 is there. So we've come from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So this is very interesting. When they were doing the, no, actually, I think it was the Gopi Kund. They were actually trying to make a well to get some water. And, that's right. Raghunath Das Goswami considered the water from Radhakund to be too sacred for his bodily use. And he wanted to make a well. One of the workers started making a well, and he hit a stone which started to bleed. Raghunath immediately stopped him. And in the night, Krishna appeared to him. He told him that this stone is a tongue of Govardhan Hill. He wanted him to install and worship the sacred Sila in the temple. So this is where this temple is. It's the Jiva Mandir, tongue of Govardhan. It is said that if one walks around this Govardhan Shila here 10 times, he receives the same benefit as if he's circumambulated the whole Govardhan Hill. So interesting. Okay. And this is the Shila that Raghunath Das Goswami found, installed. Very, very interesting. And actually they were digging the Gopi Kund when they found this. Gopal Bhatt Goswami's Bhajan Kutir. So this is where, good, sweetness. It's a few steps away from the Jiva Mandir. Gopal Bhatt established Radharaman Temple in Vrindavan. This is a glorious temple which the original deities of the Goswamis are still there, and spent much of the time at Radhakund with Raghunath Das Goswami and Krishnadas Kaviraj. Bhajan Kutir is usually a small cottage or living place, kutir, where sages and devotees used to live and perform their bhajan, worship by singing, meditating, reciting mantras, reading, writing, and performing ceremonies. So these three were very close. Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj, and also Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. In fact, they appeared on the same day, different years, but same day. And we celebrated that a couple of weeks ago. And their samadhi is in one place, I think, as well. So that was 12. Was it 12? Mm-hmm. 13. Okay. So 14. three Goswamis Samadhi. That's their Samadhi. So the three Goswamis, the one we just talked about, Raghunath Bhatt, Krishnadas Kaviraj, and then Raghunath Das Goswami. Their Samadhis are here. That's where their resting place is, on the bank of Radhakund, 14. Very, very close to Shyam Kund. Yeah. Raghunath Das Bachchan Kutir. Now, we've talked a lot about him already. A very, very amazing devotee. He wouldn't actually, he was so simple that he wouldn't even have any shelter. He would simply do his chanting. He used to chant 300,000 names every day of Radha Krishna. And as you can see here, a couple of tigers came one time near him, and Krishna made sure Krishna appeared to make sure the tigers didn't bother him. One time he was sitting in the sun for long, long periods, and he was sweating away, and the sun rays weren't bothering him, but Radharani came and gave him shelter. Now, is it Rupa or Sanatan? Sanatan Goswami. He observed Radharani coming and serving Raghunath Das Goswami. He was furious. He said to Raghunath Das Goswami, you're going to have to build a bhajan kutir because you are making the divine couple serve you. We are supposed to serve them, not the other way around. So then Raghunath Das Goswami agreed, and the Brijvasis actually built him this beautiful bhajan kutir. Very, very simple, where he would do his bhajan. 15, which is here. Okay. Then there's Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, his bhajan kutir, 16. Another great Vaishnav, great devotee in this line of Guru Parampara. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was born in Bengal in 1638 and spent a large part of his life at Radhakund. And then 17, the Pilu tree. I don't think this Pilu tree is there anymore. In his previous life, this Pilu tree was a Brahman from Varanasi, desiring service to Radha and Krishna. He was born here as this Pilu tree on the bank of Shyam Kund. Vishwanath used to discuss with him about Krishna's pastimes, and the Brahman in the form of a tree told him many things that took place here during Krishna's pastime 5,000 years ago. Nearby trunks of dry trees said to be Bhimsen. Now he went to Apakat, unrelieved to our eyes now. So he's gone back to the spiritual world. Okay. So that was 19, right? 17. Okay. Manasapava Ghat. So this is the site from that Ghat of Shyam Kund. Very, very beautiful. There, Radharani and her friends took bath every noon. So that's 18, right? Yeah. So 19. Krishnadas Kaviraj Bhajan Kutir. So, what am I here? Just see what's that. This is the Bhajan Kutir of Krishnadas Kaviraj. Every day, Raghunath Das Goswami used to talk for 3 hours about ecstatic pastimes of Lord Chaitanya on the banks of Shyam Kund, surrounded by all the devotees. Krishnadas Kaviraj was also there listening in rapt attention, and everything is recorded in the Chaitanya Antya Leela. Okay, yeah, thank you. So next is the Bhajan Kutir of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is the father of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who is the guru of Srila Prabhupada. And he's got quite a very, very nice place. The house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, during his life, he 1838 to 1914, used to stay at different places, including Radhakund. Together with his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, they preached Krishna consciousness very, very strongly. So this is a really interesting stanzas in the Gita Mala. You read?
Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote in his Gita Mala, The banks of Radhakund are made of billions of conscious, ecstatic, desire-fulfilling touchstones, and surrounding the Kund are hundreds and hundreds of beautiful transcendental gardens made of coral and rubies. The trees in those gardens produce diamonds and pearls, the branches bending under the weight of millions of those lovely gems. My cottage is shining beautifully within that most enchanting garden called Swananda Shukhad Kunj. Living there, I will sing Krishna's holy name, and I will greedily hanker for the time when I will get the service of him and his associates.
This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur indicating that he is actually eternal associate of Radha Krishna as a Manjari. Very, very interesting. What was that number? 20.
20.
So that is, where is 20? 20 is missed out.
It's up there.
It's right at
Right
the
at
top.
the top.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Kamashi. That's right. It's a little bit away from the Kund itself, the Kunds. Jagannath Mandir, this is a beautiful temple. It's become a common practice for devotees performing Radhakund Parikram and Govardhan Parikram to stop here and take darshan of beautiful deities of Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So that is 21. So we would walk, we are walking this way. And there's a little bit of going inside. It's really fascinating to walk inside, and it's easy to get lost. So Lalita Kund. Surrounding Radhakund Shyamkund, there are kunds of the 8 main Gopi assistants of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. Lalita Kund is the only one manifested today. And then as you're walking past Lalita Kund, going towards Gopi Kund, there are all these different samadhis of the great Vaishnavas, Brajbasis and Gurus and Acharyas. So that is 22. 22 is there, right? 23 is the Bhajan Kutir of Jiva Goswami. Riyansh,
Yes, Prabhuji.
you'd like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Bhajan Kutir of Srila Jiva Goswami. It is the place where he liked to stay while being on Radha Kunda. Even though Raghunath Dasa Goswami was the inspiration and the spiritual force behind the excavation of Radha Kunda, it was Srila Jiva Goswami who actually purchased the land, oversaw the excavation, and managed the work. He also made sure that Raghunatha was properly taken care of, because being so deeply obsessed in the feelings of separation from Radha and Krishna, he had practically no perception of worldly affairs. Srila Jiva Goswami arrived to Vrindavan in
1535.
1535, and under expert guidance of Rupa and Sanatan Goswami became a brilliant scholar, compiling 4,000 Sanskrit verses glorifying the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Jiva Goswami is known as the India's greatest
Philosopher
of all times, and his
Satsandarbha.
Satsandarbha to be the
Penultimate.
penultimate in all philosophical understanding.
Good, good. Thank you. So that is 23. Yeah, good. So we're getting to the close to the end anyway. Then Jiva Goswami Gata, we don't know where that is, or I couldn't find any pictures. Lalita Bihari, couldn't find pictures. Manipur Maharaj Mandir, couldn't find. Radha Vinod Mandir. Madhavendra Puri Bhatak, found that. So there, Madhavendra Puri is a great sage, one of the acharyas in our line, who actually introduced the worship of Radha and Krishna. He was the first one to introduce that to this sampradaya. A great saint who came shortly before the appearance of Mahaprabhu used to sit in this place. So that was 28. So 28 is there. 29, Gopi Kupa. Oh, Gopi Kupa, that's the well. That's the well. That's where the Jiva, the Govardhan Shila was found. The tongue of Govardhan was found. Astasakhi Mandir, don't know what that is. Nitrai Gauranga Sita Nath Mandir, Radha Madhav Mandir, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Betak, that's there. So in this place on the banks of Shyamkund, so 33, right? Where's 33? 33 is there on the banks of Shyamkund. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sit during his visit. We can find it on heightened area near the tree. Sri Chaitanya traveled to Vraj asking people about Shyamkund. Then he came upon here, Aristagram. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became ecstatic. It was obvious that the sacred lakes must be somewhere nearby. Nobody knew. And then he found the two fields, and we've said Gauri and Kali, two ponds. He took bath in them and announced to the devotees that these are the places of Radha and Krishna's most intimate pastimes. So this is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found.
Maybe from Kali, that's why it's Shyam.
I think you were saying Jiva Goswami says that actually during this Kartik month, this appearance of Radhakund is actually when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found him. And he actually appeared in a different, Radhakund appeared in a different time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The appearance of today that we're celebrating is actually when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discovered these two ponds.
And then this is Pasha Kela
Ghat.
Ghat. So this is at on the banks of Shyamkund, right? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. And this is interesting, interesting place, interesting gut. Gopis were ashamed being defeated in many water sports and games by Krishna, therefore challenged him to a game of dice. Thus, Krishna lost his precious Kastuba gem and had to cheat on the next throw to win Radharani's embrace. Then 35, Radha Madan Mohan Mandir, then the lotus feet. This is where we're getting to the essence of where we want to be today, the Sangam. So this is the Sangam. This is in the middle of the two kunds. This is where we go and we first bathe in Radhakund, Shyamkund, and then Radhakund, sorry, and then we go to Shyamkund, bathe there, and then come back to Radhakund and finish off there. This is where Radha and Krishna in the form of water of Shyamkund, Radhakund embrace eternally. So they're always here. And we have to be very careful when we go here not to commit any offenses. Very important place. So that is, and then Giriraj
in the middle.
is in the middle. So Giriraj is made up of, oh yeah, he's got it here. At the Sangam, the large number of Govardhan Shilas create mini mountain of Giriraj. It is here next to the White House, and not the same White House as in Washington, right? Where Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati told Srila Prabhupada, if you ever get money, print books. Extraordinary. So just to go back, this is, maybe we should have a bath here. We should have a snan now. So this is a good time. Matajis usually dive in with the clothes on. The gentlemen try to have a gamcha around them.
What prayers just say when taking darshan of Radha and Shyamkund?
Is it possible it was made in the evening time? So Shyamkund. So the prayers, actually the priests are always there to help you make prayers and make lots of commitments of boga and feeding the Brahmins. Generally we pray the prayers that we pay for purification. Om Pavitra Pavitrava Sarvava Sangato Piva Yasmarit Pundarikaksham Sabhya Bhyantara Suchi Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu. Those are standard prayers that we would pray even before taking bath here, but those are as appropriate.
So
there as
basically you have, you put your hand into Radhakund and you hold the water in there, and that's when you sing the prayers. And then you do that 3 times. So you offer the water back into Radhakund. So you do that 3 times. So you basically offering the water back in each time before you even put any water on yourself.
And then when you put water on yourself, the first is onto your head. And I don't dare go into Radhakund because I'm such a sinful person. So I just bathe with a
water jug
or water bottle. Just put it on me.
Can you just repeat the sloka again, please?
Yes, actually your grandchildren know it very well. And from them we're learning all the other slokas as well. Om apavitra pavitra va sarva vastam gato piva yasmaret pundarikaksham sabhya abhyantara suchi Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu. I can send that to you. It's one of those yagya mantras that we have. Very nice prayer. It basically says whether you're purified inside or outside, or if you want to be purified inside or outside, you have to think about Krishna. So, okay. So let's bathe here. So first place we go is Radhakund.
So we're sitting on the banks of Radhakund.
Or you can go inside because we don't actually go inside. And you can dip as many times as you want.
It's quite slippery, so there are chains there which you hold on to. Otherwise, the turtles have made it very slippery around there.
And usually when we bathe, like Guru Maharaj, he used to spend long time inside, and he used to think about all of his
disciples.
Us. Yeah.
So you dip for each person that you want to remember, and send blessings to.
Blessings or good wishes, like your mother and father, you should bathe for them. You should bathe for your. We bathe for Guru Maharaj as well.
So you can take many dips as you want to in there.
And then you come out and go across the Sangam into Shyamkund, and you do exactly the same as Jayanti said. Offer 3 palmfuls of water and say the same mantras, and then you put on your head first, and then you can go in and dip inside. Shyamkund ki jai, Shyamkund ki jai, Shyamkund ki jai. And then we come back to Radhakund again, because we never know when we'll be able to return again, if at all. So we like to finish at Radhakund and bathe again. Same procedure all over again. And you can take your sweet time. It's nice and warm.
And it's said that it's nice to offer some flowers to Radhakund, and even a ghee lamp as well. So we can do that now, actually. We can offer a little ghee lamp as well in our mind to Radhakund as well, and ask for her blessings. And also you can actually dip your chanting beads in there, purify them as well.
Okay. Oh, yes. I just want to check who's been to Shyamkund, Radhakund?
I went.
Very good. Very good.
We've been,
I've,
we have been.
I've
Prabhu.
been also, Prabhu, with you.
Yeah, we have been with you, Prabhuji.
Oh, yes. Oh, Haniben as well. Okay, yes.
Yes, me and Harishna.
Okay.
Hare
Very
Krishna,
good.
everyone.
Hare Krishna.
I have been also.
I
Very
have
good.
been also, and I would like to just give a little advice if I am allowed to.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
So when we go there, because we didn't know we committed sins, that's why I'm telling.
Mm.
So
Right.
we went there, Ganga and myself, and then not knowing, we dipped our foot first in the Radhakund. Then
Right.
one of the persons serving around, he said, never do that. He said, you
Mm.
take water in your hand first, and then if you decide to go and bathe in, then you step in. First, don't just put our foot in any of the kunds.
Even
Yeah.
that applies to any, even in your bath, Mataji.
Mhm.
Don't put your feet in there first. What we do is we take some water and we say
Yes.
the mantra, Om Pavitra 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 Vasavasa, and then we put it on our head. Then we
Right.
enter into the shower and bathe. Because
Okay.
that is all holy water, right? We want to make everything, even what we bathe on a daily basis, we want to bathe in holy water. So
Yes.
we
But
want
then that I did not know. I don't do. What I do, I chant the Gangeche Jamunanche
good,
and
good,
by
absolutely.
all the rivers, and then I take my shower. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Very good, very good.
Actually, they say some Prabhupada said that we should not bath in Radhakund and Shyamakund.
Yeah, that
I
was at
don't know.
yes, and that's why I don't go in because I'm a. But many devotees do, and
Yeah, they will do, but pilgrimage they will.
yeah, and
yeah.
at that time, what happened was there was some devotees who decided to go swimming into Radhakund, and they were taking it.
And
Yeah, they were taking in a different mood. So Prabhupada at that time put a blanket stop on everything. But things have sort of changed. People have become a little bit more respectful and understanding that these waters are very, very special.
Okay.
So if devotees go in there, you shouldn't say to them, hey, Prabhupada said this. No. Let them do as they desire, as long as they're doing it in the right mood,
But I did bath without knowing. In Radhakund and Shyamakund, so many times I did bath.
Yeah, that's okay. But
after that I came to know that.
Yeah.
Even if we go to Govardhan also, we shouldn't go to that mountain, it seems, because it is Krishna. They say.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. You shouldn't put your feet on Govardhan.
There are so many precautions.
Yeah, you should be aware. You should always go with a devotee when you.
Yeah, devotees. Single you cannot go.
Single is always risky. Yeah.
Actually, you should meditate and ask for the blessings before you go do this, and do your research before you go, so you know exactly what you should and shouldn't do.
Thank you,
So I think then you don't commit any aparadh.
Correct.
If you have that in mind. Yeah, we went last year with when we were with Trikal again. It was really good. We had an experience of taking a devotee, but then the devotee was really had to argue with the Brajbasi Pandit over there. So it was a bit of a conflict with them. But that's India, isn't it? It was good.
I've had so many bust-ups with the pandas, but now actually they treat us really, really well.
Yeah, I think they've improved.
Yeah, we go to their houses to take prasad,
Yeah.
which is quite amazing. So, all right, let's just finish off. Then Giriraj, you've talked about. Oh, what about who else has been to Radhakund?
Janki, yes.
Janki, yeah.
Priti as well with us.
Priti.
My wife is Prabhuji.
Karuna, great, great. But you must have gone several times, right?
No, only once.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Haribol Prabhu, Sitaram here.
Sitaram.
Yes, Prabhu. I have been several times over there.
Several times.
With Guru Maharaj as well.
With Guru Maharaj?
Yes, Prabhu.
Very
Very
good.
good.
Fantastic.
That's the
Fantastic.
best.
That's very lucky.
Yeah. Very, very fortunate.
Mm.
Great sage.
I have been as well, Prabhu.
Oh,
Sam,
yes,
of
Sam.
course,
Yes, yes. When did you go?
2017.
Okay, nice. Well done.
But,
Fantastic.
you know, I was so naive. Perhaps that might help me because I didn't know all the rituals that you're supposed to know. You know, I just went. I didn't do any of the stuff that you're supposed to do very innocently. So I hope I didn't commit any
No, no, no.
aparada.
You know, in innocence, Krishna will not take that very seriously. So if we do it on purpose, of course, then it's not good. So
And
don't
I've got a very funny story as well.
go on.
When we went, we were supposed to do the Govardhan Parikram. And normally the parikram I've done, it takes about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So when we started, I didn't even know that we've started. And then I thought, and normally when we do the parikram, we do it like 7 times. So I assume it's very, very small place that you just do 7 times and then you walk away. And then after 2 hours, you know, we still haven't finished. And then I walked so fast, and the rest of the entourage, they were like about a mile behind me. So later on, I stopped, and then they catch up, and I said, "When are we gonna finish?" And they said, "Oh, we've got about 2 hours to go." And I forgot. So I've got 7 more rounds to go, 6 more rounds to do. You know, after doing 2.5 hours, you know, but eventually they said. They explained it, and then I got it. But it was really, really hilarious. Very, very nice. You know, yeah.
I got some very embarrassing stories to tell because I used to walk, and these old ladies used to walk faster than me. They'd pass me, they have a giggle, and then they would sit down, have a cup of tea. I'd walk past them, and then again walk very fast past me, have another giggle at me. This would carry on for like almost the whole thing, and then at the end they'll be all laughing at me. You know, it take me 9 hours to do.
That it's brilliant. You know, I mean, like it's unbelievable, unbelievable to do it.
It is. It is.
I think for the disabled, it is okay to go around in a rickshaw as well.
I did actually find some reference, and I can't find it now. That whether you do it by foot or by vehicle, the benefit is the same. Now, I've been looking for that reference for the last 4 or 5 years, and I just can't find it. If anybody does find that reference, please share it.
Well, I think we did it on the coach going around the program.
Yes.
Over the hill.
Yes, we did.
And we blamed Sangini Maaji for that one.
Yeah. That was a time constraint. That's why.
Yeah. That was one
So
of
it doesn't matter how do you go around the parikrama. It depends on your capacity, right? If you can walk, it's fine. But if you have old people with you, then you don't. Like it doesn't take a lot. Like in 5 hours we did it, and if you can make it, it's good.
Yeah.
Some people are doing dandavat, you know.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They just
Yeah. And
They'll put stone. They'll put stone
yes,
and again they'll
yes,
continue it. Yeah.
yes. They will take like
Right.
a week or so, but they do it.
Yeah, it takes months to do that.
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
Actually, any desire can be fulfilled, it seems. I heard from personal experience from devotees, ISKCON devotees. If you don't have son, if you want daughter, if you want anything, you can do that Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, it's seriously, because it will be definitely, you will desire get fulfilled.
But there should only be one desire. And that is
Yeah,
Prema Bhakti. Prema
Prema
Bhakti. Nothing else.
Normally, just I heard from devotees, like
Yeah.
they did seems. From one devotee, they're not getting children. They done Dandavat Pranams, like that, keeping stone. Full Govardhan and full Radhakund, Shamakund, full 23 or something like that.
Right, right. But actually, the chanting of the holy names is as powerful. You just chant one mantra purely, completely purely, and Krishna will fulfill all one's desires. But only desire one should have is that we want to attain prema bhakti. That's the
Yes,
only
Prabhu.
desire. No need to do dandavat parikrams. And
Oh, yeah.
if we want to do any tapasya, then for this age of Kali Yuga, it is to
Chanting of
distribute
holy.
Srila Prabhupada's books, become his warrior. That is the tapasya. That is our, if we want to please Prabhupada, that's how we're going to please Prabhupada. Give his books to somebody. That can change somebody's life.
I came by books only, I forgot to say.
Yeah, right. See what I mean?
5 years before somebody, I went to like Godavari. It was in Andhra Pradesh. It's like Pushkar. It occurs every year. So devotees were distributing in Pushkar, and I took it books only. By books only I came.
Yeah, it's the only way. It's the I think that applies to probably 90% of the people here. Unless you're born into it, you're going to come through a book. Thank you so much. Radhakund ki. Hang on, have we finished? 1 second. Sorry, I don't think we finished yet. 1 second, 1 second. Oh no, we haven't. So Radha Madan Mohan Mandir, Lotus Feet, Sangam, Giriraj, then Mahaprabhu Mandir, Radha Gopinath Mandir, they're all on the road. And then the last one is Nityananda Prabhu. His Betakstan, where he was sitting. And this is his. Nityananda, in the mood of Balaram, traveled around Vrindavan looking for his younger brother. Who is that? Mahaprabhu. Wandering around Govardhan Hill and calling out the name of Kanhaiya. Oh, he was looking out for Krishna. Okay. He must have, because in the mood of Balaram, yeah. He must have looked at everybody around he must have looked to everybody around. That's completely mad, Avaduta. But right here at this spot, celestial voice told him that his brother has now appeared in Navadvip. Though Nityananda immediately got up and set out to Bengal. So that is 41. Let's just see where 41 is. Okay, 41 is there. Just there. So we can just walk around here and we can complete our Dandavat, our parikram with the Dandavat Pranam. We forgot to do that at the beginning. And we forgot to seek the blessings of Radha and Krishna to be able to do Radhakund. So anyway, we can belatedly ask and pay a few more extra Dandavats to do this parikram of Radhakund. Radhakund ki jai. Thank you so much. So Radhakund is beautiful. Yes, Janaki, say it.
Yeah, when I went there, I remember we were just approaching Radhakund, and as soon as the kind of signs came, not the signs made, but I guess devotees who were traveling with us knew the area better. As soon as the area came, they took off their shoes straight away in the car because they didn't even want to take darshan of Radhakund, like with having their shoes on. And I remember we had to walk quite a distance because you can't get parking right near there. And they basically advised everyone to take their shoes off in the car because that whole area is just so considered so sacred. They didn't want to wear shoes anywhere, so I was just really moved by that, and just the kind of, the whole area is considered so sacred, and the way people behave there is really special. Really nice. And yeah, I remember someone saying that, like you say, everyone says it's Radhakund, we're going to see Radhakund. No one says we're going to Shamkund. Even the police station there has been called Radhakund Police Station, not Shamkund Police Station, but it's Radhakund Police Station. So it's just everything about that area is Radhakund.
And there's some devotees actually do the tilak. It's called the Radhakund Gopi. It's slightly black in color. So
yeah,
devotees are doing that the black tilak. That's where it's from.
Do ISKCON devotees use that as well sometimes?
Yeah.
They do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But actually, Gopi Chandra is what Prabhupada used, so we should use that really. But anyway, so we can now this is beautiful Radhakund Astakam, which Karuna Bandar will sing,
And then we can do the parikram.
and we can do a parikram. Yeah, that's right. So now I'll record this separately, isn't it? Shall I record this separately? Yeah, I should. Let me just stop that recording. Shall we read the translation first? Cloud.